There we go.
So I will turn things over to Maria and Dananji then.
I'm trying to share my screen. Share.
Try now, should work.
Right. So also just the endpoint in Avalon currently for IIIF manifest. We have, the first thing we did was this, to add in Avalon a way for you to get the manifest for the item. And then we started working on the standalone IIIF player that's independent of Avalon itself, so other applications can use it. And we have updated the player for the new syntax, but we haven't come back to Avalon itself to update the generator. So it's still generating an old version of the manifest, but I can show it to you. So this is an example. This is in our collections, IU collections. This is a public item in the media collections online. I'm not signed in. You can see here that I'm not signed in. So to get the manifest, you just add manifest to the link there, and you get the manifest. So that's the endpoint. And the Avalon out of the box without any IU code added to it has the same ability. So if you just add the manifest to the URL, that's the endpoint to get the manifest. It is not up to date, which means that currently we cannot use this manifest in any of the players, not even our own standalone player. But with our own standalone player, we've been updated, and that's why it can't play there. We've updated the syntax there. And one may ask, and I'm going to address the question before it is asked, why have another IIIF player and not use UV? One of the reasons why we're doing our own IIIF player is because we wanted more flexibility in terms of where things go on the page. Where, for instance, our next step is to create a transcripts panel with synchronization with the player, and we want flexibility on where we put that on the page for the Avalon application. And our player uses React technology to have all these things in different components, so we can place each component on a different location on our Avalon. So I'm going to stop sharing, and Dananji can then show the IIIF player as it stands now.
Thank you, Maria. I'm going to share my screen. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so for this demo, I'm using our GitHub demo page. As Maria said, we are developing this as a component library for much more flexibility. Right now, we have two components. The first one is the player itself, and the other one is the structured navigation component. So here you can see that we have a video player with the structured navigation component just below it. This renders the structure from the IIIF manifest. For the example, we are using the lunchroom manifest here. And in the player, we support captions and quality selection if it's available. And underneath, we are using a video.js player, so it has the picture-in-picture capability. and then full screen because this is a video player. And if I enable captions and play the video, it renders the captions along with the video. And using the structure navigation component, you can seek to different time points in the media player. So each of these link is a media fragment in the structure. And if you click on that, it will render that particular structure and highlight it in the time rail. It's not that visible. I'm not sure if you can see it. It highlights that a particular media fragment in the player. So it is another way of displaying the structure in the player itself. And we are using style guided documents to render this, create this GitHub demo page. So it provides us with this markdown. So if you were to use this in a host application for the IIIF player component, we are using two props, two attributes. You can give either a URL or a JSON object with the manifest data. If you're using both, the manifest takes precedence over the manifest URL. So instead of fetching the external manifest, the application goes to the existing JSON object. So let me show you a audio player with this. So if I remove this, which is a video manifest, the URL here has a IIIF manifest, which renders a audio player. And it's similar to the previous one, has the structure. And in this particular manifest, we have two media files. So using the structure, you can go between the two items. And as Maria said, our next step is to, we are hoping to implement a transcript component and also do improvements to our manifest parser going forward with the development. That's it. Thanks, everyone.
One thing maybe I'll add is we didn't really say what Avalon is, and it's kind of implied by, I guess, by the demo, but Avalon, just briefly, is an open source audio and video access repository platform that's based on the Sambera repository technology stack developed on the server side in primarily in Ruby on Rails. And so the focus in Avalon has been on making it easier for libraries and archives to make AV content available and to restrict access to that content appropriately. So that's been one of the major focuses, is the ability to have AV content that's open to the world, that's restricted to one's campus, that's restricted to certain user groups, classes, you know, et cetera, within a single platform, and make it easy to kind of implement within a higher ed kind of library archive context. And we have about, Maria may better remember the number, but over a dozen institutions besides IU that are using Avalon in addition to us.
Correct. Correct. And I also didn't mention something that's of interest, which is within Avalon itself, even though the manifest is currently behind in terms of syntax, it integrates with the Timeliner tool, which was developed by Gigi Ratti, and the conversation between the two, the integration of the two tools, uses the authentication probe service that is currently the standard for authentication before we have a version, the new authentication coming. So we do take advantage of that within Avalon itself. The Timeliner is an independent module that we integrate with Avalon, and we use that authentication service.
Do you have any use cases where a particular segment of the video has to be secure, so you're only displaying a segment that is part of the video, but users shouldn't be able to see a different segment?
We do have those use cases, but we don't have a great solution for those use cases. So right now, we have to manually cut out, well, or through scripts, cut out those sections that should not be accessible. But yes, we will at IU, will frequently have, say, a concert that's an hour long, and there will be parts of it we can make available and parts that we cannot make available. We have that all in one video file or one audio file, and we very much want the ability to restrict access to segments of that. But right now we're not able to do that. And it gets tricky because if you have the entire file sitting on a media server of some type, for example, we use Wowza, you know, it's difficult to control access at that granularity within the file. But yeah, very much in need. So interested, if others have solved that problem, very interested in hearing that.
Thank you. We haven't solved it yet, but we would like to.
Other questions for Maria and Dananji?
Yeah, all content, video content is stored on a server or can be used some other media providers. I don't think about YouTube or Kaltura, for example. Or it must be stored on this.
Are you asking about Avalon itself or the IIIF player?
No, the Avalon itself.
Avalon is for our local files. I mean, not local, for our server, yes. We keep our files on our servers.
There are different deployment models though. So Avalon supports, you need some type of media or web server on which the files sit. So it could be it could be Wowza, which is a commercial option. It could be Nginx, which is open source option. It could be Amazon CloudFront streaming in a cloud deployment. And there's a kind of prepackaged cloud deployment of Avalon that we call Avalon Turnkey for AWS deployment. So there are different deployment options, but yes, the files need to sit somewhere where they can be streamed via HLS. Avalon uses HLS for streaming. So Kaltura specifically, we've talked about that, but we've never actually tried to do that. It may be possible.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And I'm not looking at the notes, but we should make sure that we get, it's probably in here, get the URL for the standalone player that Dananji demoed in there. So if folks want to take a look at the code or play around with that. And then for Avalon itself, if you go to avalonmediasystem.org, you can get to our test instance and you can even request an account if you want to play around with uploading content. And as Maria said, the manifests aren't quite up to spec right now that you'll see from that content, but if you want to play around with the system, you can request an account at avalonmediasystem.org. Any other questions on this? All right, well, thanks, Dananji, thanks, Maria. And I guess stop recording probably, Josh.
So, well, actually, I just thought of another question, and maybe there's no satisfying answer to this, but I guess I'm curious if you have visibility. You said there's a dozen or so other places making use of Avalon. I know IU is sort of, you know, all in on the IIIF aspects of it, but I guess I'm curious, are you aware of, you know, are there other places that are kind of making interesting use of the IIIF pieces or have intentions to do so? I guess I'm just like, we know a lot about the IU example here, and maybe you can't speak on behalf of others, but I'm just curious if you have sort of inklings in that direction about ambitions on that front.
Maria, do you have ideas there?
I actually didn't understand the question.
Are people other than IU making use of or told us they want to make use of the IIIF capabilities of Avalon?
There are people who are interested, not interested in Avalon whatever, but interested in the IIIF player. So I know that one of University of Texas, is it Austin, Dananji, who is interested in our IIIF standalone player. And of course, there are other Avalon users who are very interested in adding IIIF capabilities to their current Avalon and are looking into upgrading to get to that.
Yeah, there are other institutions using Avalon that are active in IIIF or have IIIF available for images, and I believe want to have their AV available in that way as well. For example, Northwestern University. Also, the Timeliner, we think, maybe if we did more promotion of it, could drive adoption, because that is, and we could do a Timeliner demo again on another call, I guess, but the Timeliner is based on a tool that a lot of music schools or music departments around the world were using in the context of music theory teaching. And it's pretty powerful for that use case. And so some of our Avalon adopters are primarily focused on music collections and music teaching and can probably make more use of IIIF, at least in that context.
I did hear through the grapevine last week that UT Austin Libraries has published its V3 manifest for their audio video material. I don't know what viewer they're using, but that kind of ties into what you were saying.
Right. And with respect to the Avalon IIIF player, the standalone player, which we want to make available without forcing people to use Avalon, we want to integrate that with the with HIREX, which is the application from the Samvera community, to make it available there as well. So all the institutions that currently use HIREX will have the Avalon AV IIIF players available. They already use UV for images in HIREX and use UV for AV as well, but we're going to make that integration possible for them.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a really rich set of answers to what was admittedly a really messy question. So thank you.
Great. Well, thanks all. And I guess if we're just planning to record the demo part, we should stop recording.